We've got some really sad breaking news. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Mary Crosby's son, Robert Crosby Jr., has passed away at 23 years of age. We're going to get into the cause of death, what we know about the situation, and everything else right here in the suite. Give me about 50 seconds for this intro to play, and we'll get right into it. Since the beginning of times, beauty salons and barbershops have had a special place in the hearts of the industry professionals and the patrons alike. We can all remember trips to the shop, special moments made, conversations had, and lessons learned. From politics to pop culture, the latest gossip, love and relationships, and social movements. It's all talked about. Lifelong friendships are created, networks are built, ideas are shared, and politicians are made or broken. Our power is great. Our reach is wide. This is the place where we all shine, from the beginning to the end of times. Let's keep the conversation alive. Join me in my suite from your suite, and let's talk about the tea. So, my name is Tanya. First of all, welcome to the suite. If you haven't been here before, welcome. If you have been here before, welcome back. I'm glad to have you guys, and I'm sad to have you guys under these circumstances. But like I said before, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Mary Crosby's son, Robert Crosby Jr., has died at the age of 23 years old. If you all watch the show, then you guys are familiar with him and his story because his mother was very open about it and she shared it with the world. And so we have to thank Mary for sharing her son with us and for sharing his story with us. And hopefully someone will learn something from it. Okay. So I'm going to read to you all the story that is being reported by the Sun. Here we go. Well, actually, this is by Us Weekly. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Mary Crosby's son, Robert Jr., dead at 23 after addiction battle. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Mary Crosby's son, Robert Crosby Jr., has died at age 23, Us Weekly can confirm. TMZ was the first to report the news on Wednesday, February 25th, reporting that Robert Jr. died in Utah following a possible overdose. The cause of death has not yet been confirmed. I think that's important to note as well. Our beloved son, Robert Jr., has been called home to the Lord, Mary shared in a statement to Us Weekly. Though our hearts ache, we take comfort in God's promise and in knowing He is finally at peace. We are grateful for your prayers and trust in the Lord to carry us through this time of sorrow. That's heavy. Bravo also issued a statement telling us we are heartbroken to learn of the passing of Mary's beloved son Robert Jr. Mary is a cherished member of our family and our thoughts, love and deepest condolences are with her and her loved ones during this incredibly difficult time. The Salt Lake City Police Department confirmed to us on Wednesday that they responded to a call of an overdose at Mary and her husband Robert Crosby Sr.'s Utah home at 6:14 p.m. on Monday, February 23rd. Authorities discovered Robert Jr. dead upon arrival. An investigation into his death is open and active. Mary shared Robert Jr. with husband Robert Sr., whom she has been married since 1998. Lord have mercy. Robert Jr.'s addiction battle has been showcased on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, with Mary earning praise for sharing the realities of his struggles on the show. And that had to be so difficult, but I thank her so much for that because I know undoubtedly that someone has learned something, okay? Robert Jr. first revealed his battle with substance abuse during the season 5 episode that aired in November 2024. He explained to Mary that life is just chicken unseasoned. He admitted to doing several drugs, including Xanax and cocaine. When I get high, it's like adding seasoning to it, he added. At first, I was like, I'm going to just stick to natural stuff. Then I went to a party and someone gave me Xanax. I started buying it. Then I started doing Xanax with acid and some Molly with Xanax. I really like Xanax, so I mix it with everything. Mm, mm, mm. This poor child, 23 years old. And just like that, just going to a party and someone giving him the Xanax for the first time, and he just got hooked. By December 2024, Mary said her son was recovering following a month-long stay in a rehabilitation program. She continued to share his ups and downs on the show following their initial conversation, detailing his jail stay during the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City season 6 reunion last month. I'm not worried about him, she said at the time. I know he's somewhere where he's not using. At some point, I have to step back so that he can learn and he can make his own decisions. And unfortunately, he's learning the hard way, but I'm okay with it. Mm, mm, mm. Us confirmed in November 2025 that Robert Jr. plead, pleaded guilty to trespassing and assault following a series of incidents involving ex-wife Alexandra Smokoff and her father. He was also accused of violating a protective order at the time. Smokoff filed for divorce from Robert Jr. that same month. Robert Jr.'s death came weeks after he settled his divorce from Smokoff. Robert Jr. was not present in court as their split became final, as he was still incarcerated. Wow. So he was in jail when the divorce became final. Robert Jr. was released from a Utah jail earlier this month, confirming his release with a return to Instagram. I'm back, he captioned a series of photos on social media platform on February 6th. Robert Jr.'s attorney, Clayton Sims, confirmed his release to people at the time. He was required to serve 36 months of probation and complete 75 hours of community service. If you or someone you know is struggling with substance abuse, contact the Substance Abuse Mental Health Service Administration National Helpline at 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-HELP. Wow. Y'all, this is just awful. This is just awful. It truly is. It truly is. And the reality of it is addiction can happen to anyone. Addiction can happen to the best of us, to the best of people, from the best of families with the most caring parents and the strictest parents alive. Addiction can happen to anyone. And I think it is so important that we remember that and that we take addiction seriously and that we understand as well that addiction is usually the symptom of something deeper. Something deeper meaning something that is so unbearable to you that you would that getting high or covering it with some sort of addiction helps to bear it, helps to make it manageable. Like he said, life is like chicken unseasoned, and when he adds the drugs to it, it's like seasoning the chicken. So basically, what I interpret that to mean is that this is someone whose life was just bland, who didn't necessarily, it's just like you wouldn't wanna eat bland chicken or unseasoned chicken. You didn't wanna do unseasoned life. You didn't wanna do the bland life. And whether or not his life would have been bland to someone else or that chicken would have tasted unseasoned to the next person, is left up to interpretation, and that's where mental health and clinical depression come in, because that's not something that we can mask with street drugs or with drugs that are not prescribed to us that we're abusing. There's a fine science to it, and that's why pharmacists and psychiatrists go to school for as long as they do, so that they can get those formulas and those percentages and that medication, the dosage correct for us. So it's not for us to self-medicate if we can help it, and if we know that we're struggling and we feel like life is so bland and the chicken is unseasoned and we don't wanna eat that chicken, so we have to do something to make it better, then we know that we need to seek help, okay? So let's not let his death be in vain. Let's not let his struggle be in vain, and let's not let the fact that Mary was so gracious and shared him with us and shared his struggles with us be in vain. So let it be a lesson to all of us that if life is ever tasting like unseasoned chicken, it's time to get some help. It's time to get some help. And it's okay for it to taste like unseasoned chicken for a season, but it can't taste like unseasoned chicken for an extended period of time, because then you'll starve because you never wanna eat it, okay? And then that's where you know that you have clinical depression or you have something that's a little bit more than just not having the taste for the chicken that day, okay? Or not having the taste for life that day. So let's let his death be, and let's let his life and his struggles be a reminder to all of us that none of us are beyond addiction. None of us are beyond repair either, okay? And let's also send good vibes and healing hearts for to Mary and her family. And I know that there's nothing that we can say that would make her feel better, because I can't imagine the loss of losing a child. But just know, Mary, that your son's life and death will not be in vain, because I'm sure that someone's going to be so touched and so moved by this and so scared by it that they're going to get help, or they're going to have the real conversations with their own children and their own loved ones who they may suspect is struggling. Because life is precious and it's just one pill too many, one thing too many, that could leave you and your loved ones in the same situation and in the same predicament. So we're not gonna judge, we're just gonna pray, and we're gonna do better, okay? If you guys watched to the end, I thank you so much, and again, I apologize for the state of this breaking news or the topic of this breaking news, but I also think that it's important that we learn from it. If you all agree, please let me know in the comments. Consider subscribing to my channel and giving this video a thumbs up. From my sweet to your sweet, my name is Tanya, and this is Sweet Tea. Thank you for watching.